Welcome to the Friday 13th YouTube channel, Metalheads. Today we've got a fantastic album review for you. This is Sweden's Epic Doom Metal band called Sorcerer. They're about to release their new album called Reign of the Reaper, which is coming out on the 27th of October 2023 on Metal Records. Check it out, it's a brilliant album, guys. Now, the band would originally be formed back in 1988 in Stockholm, and the original early days of the band with the first demo, the lineup would consist of Johnny Hegel on bass guitar, would have Matt Luderholm on guitars, would have Peter Fodlund on guitars, would have Anders Enberg on vocals, and also Tommy Carlson on drums. With the band releasing their debut demo in 1989, which was self-titled, they'd also do another demo in 1992. This would be called the Inquisition. In 1995, the band would release a compilation. This would be the first two demos. It got released on CD. Some of you may have it. In 2004, the band released another compilation called The Heathens of the North. In 2015, the band would sign to Metal Blade Records and release their debut album, which was called In the Shadows of the Inverted Cross, a fantastic epic doom metal album. And this would be followed in 2017 by the next album, The Crowning of the Fire King. Also after that, in 2020, they released their next album, Lamenting of the Innocent. Fantastic album with a great artwork. Now, vocalist Anders is a brilliant singer. He's a very powerful singer. He's been involved with some really interesting bands of the past. Some of you guys may know these bands. If you don't know them, you've got to check out the albums. We've got a band called Twilight who did an album called Eye for an Eye, which is a great album. Also, Anders was involved with the band Lionshare, did a couple of albums with those guys. Great band. And also involved with a band called Section A, did a couple of albums with those guys. Anders has done plenty of projects as well. So you need to check out his biography and see what he's done. He's done some great albums of the past. Now, there's something about this band, Sorcerer. They're not the typical Candlemas type doom metal. They're very upbeat and they kind of remind me a little bit of Trouble. They also remind me of Solitude Eternus. But then again, they also remind me of hints of Twilight and also Lionshare. So you've got the epic doom mixed with a bit of progressive in there, and it works really well in favour for this band. Lamenting of the Innocent was a great album, like I said. I also saw the band touring. I managed to see those guys live at Bloodstock last year, and I can tell you now, they're brilliant live. Anders is a very powerful singer. They're very melodic, and they're very powerful unit live. So if you've not seen these guys, please go and check them out. They are going to be touring very soon. And so the lineup for the debut album, In the Shadows of the Inverted Cross, would be Anders Engberg on vocals, would have Johnny Hegel on bass, Robert Everson on drums, would have Christian Nineman on guitars, and would also have Peter Halgan on guitars. The second album for the band, The Crowning of the Fire King, would see new drummer, who was also a session drummer for the album, would be Lars Skold, and would also have Connie Wellen on keyboards and backing vocals. Now, the band's third album, Lamenting of the Innocent, would see two new members, would have on bass guitar Justin Biggs on bass guitar, would also have new drummer Richard Evenstand. Now, the new album, Reign of the Reaper, had Richard playing drums on it, but Richard decided to leave recently. He's been replaced by a new drummer called Stefan Norgren, who's with the band Seventh Wonder, a fantastic Swedish prog metal band. Now I'm going to tell you about the new album, folks. So if you like the last album, Lamenting of the Innocent, and you thought that was a fantastic album, you've not heard anything yet. This new album is a fantastic album. It's really powerful, extremely well produced, and it contains the following songs. We'd have Morning Star, Reign of the Reaper, Thy Kingdom Will Come, Eternal Sleep, Curse of Medusa, Unveiling Blasphemy, The Underworld, and Break of Dawn. So there's the songs on the album. So I'm going to tell you who produced the album, what the songs are like. Now, the album was produced at Solar Sound Recordings in Stockholm with the producer Simon Johansson, who's worked with Soilwork, Wolf, and many other bands. The drums were also assisted by Mike Weed from King Diamond. With the aid of Simon producing the album, would have the mastering, mixing, and engineering done by Ronnie Bornstrom. And all in all, the production is absolutely fantastic. It sounds very loud, very bombastic. It sounds like it's been recorded in a big studio. The drums sound absolutely fantastic. They've actually been recorded in a big studio. But the rest of the music sounds great. There's some really good harmony vocals, some fantastic guitar playing. And you're not your typical doom metal. They're very upbeat. This is one thing I like about Sorcerer. If you're a fan of Black Sabbath, the Tony Martin era, maybe Twilight, Lionshare, and Solitude Eternus, this is a band that you really got to check out because they're writing some fantastic material. Now, there's one thing I have to say about Sorcerer. You're not your typical Candlemas kind of doom metal from Sweden. They're very upbeat. And if you're a fan of, like I say, Twilight, Lionshare, Trouble, Black Sabbath feature like Tony Martin era, or even Solitude Eternus. This is a great album. This is a great band. The opening track is The Morning Stars. We all know this has been released on YouTube as a video. It's a brilliant opening song. It's really powerful, and it really does remind me of the Tony Martin Headless Cross or Tie albums. Now, I personally think that Tony Martin is one of the best Black Sabbath singers out there. Anders is doing a fantastic job. He's a very powerful, emotional singer. Now, this song also reminds me of fellow Swedish act Tad Moroz. This album also reminds me of another Swedish band, Memento Mori, who did some great albums in the 90s. I particularly like the guitar solo on this song. It kind of reminds me a lot of Mike Weed from Exon House and King Diamond. It's some really good guitar played. It's typical Swedish guitar shredding stuff. Title track is the next song, Reign of the Reaper. Now, this reminds me of Candlemas, but it also reminds me of Anders' old band, Twilight. It's got that epic, progressive, power doom vibe to it, but it's a brilliant song, guys. It's really well put together. Great guitar playing, great rhythm section, some fantastic vocals. It's also definitely got a vibe of upbeat Candlemas. Next song is Thy Kingdom Will Come. This kind of reminds me of Saxon. I know these guys are big Saxon fans. So if you like the Saxon sort of like Metalhead or Killing Ground, then this is a really cool song. It's called Thy Kingdom Will Come. I can imagine Biff doing backing vocals on this song, or actually joint vocals with Anders. That would have been really cool to hear. Next song is Eternal Sleep. This is very much like Tony Martin's Black Sabbath, but it's also a little bit like Lion's Share. So the combination of progressive rock and doom metal or traditional heavy metal really works favour of this band. The song is called Eternal Sleep. It's a semi-ballad and it's a brilliant song. Next song is called Curse of Medusa. This kind of sounds like Black Sabbath, Tad Moroz, but it also has harmony vocals, something that Hammerfall would do, and it really works well. So I'll give you guys a rundown what the album sounds like. It's a brilliant production, brilliant songs. It's the best album they've done. I'm going to give this album 5 out of 5. It's the fantastic doom epic metal album, or traditional metal, whatever you want to call it. But it's a great album, guys. It's called Reign of the Reaper. The album's released on the 27th of October on Metal Blade Records. Go and buy it, guys. You will not be disappointed, especially if you like the last album or the albums of previous. Well done, guys. Looking forward to seeing you live and also hearing more albums in the future. Thanks for watching, Metalheads. Be safe.